We are. I am big fan of virtual reality, and we believe in the system PSVR that we are developing and we are delivering this year is deliver really high quality virtual reality experiences to people. And the question was already answered in my mind that yes, we'll continue. However, the on the business aspect of PlayStation VR, I think the biggest test for us is after the launch of PSVR, after 6 months or 1 year, how many of those developers who are investing in making contents for VR, how many of them are able to recoup their investment and continue to work on their new project. So that's the biggest test, and we are very I feel we are very responsible to create large install base of virtual reality systems in the hands of consumers, so that the developers can invest their money to create their dream of making VR games. So that's a test that we have to pass. As many as possible. It could be the case. We delayed the launch of PSVRs from first half of this year to October. Partly because we wanted to make sure we have enough units for the launch. But with huge response and expectations from consumers we are getting, we might find ourselves not being able to deliver the unit that according to the demand. So that's a challenge that we'll continue to work hard to provide. So for virtual reality, to understand the greatness of the VR of this year, you really have to try it. And that's the biggest challenge of any company who are working on high-end virtual reality system like ourselves or Oculus or HTC Vive. So what we do is we kind of limit the developers to create only small experience so that we can have as many people to try out. So we limit the demos to be short, like 3 minutes or 5 minutes. So that's probably would be the reason that that kind of comments can come out. But look at one demos we have on the floor, like a Drive Club VR. It's it's amazing experience, and many people who try Drive Club VR say that it feels more natural, driving car in VR than playing on the regular TV. So games like driving games, people play hours and hours, and I can see they get consumed in VR. And there are other genre games as well, like Leagues is online shooter. It's super competitive and intense. So we limit the play time to like a 5-minute match or like that. But because it's so addictive, I can see people start playing, long hours of Leagues as well. So it may be up to people who are more sensitive to VR than others. But we've been seeing more people get acclimated, getting used to using VR devices for longer sessions as well. I don't think we'll do for all the AAA games, but that's something, that's very VR create a great opportunity to put people inside the world that developers create. So, and developers spend lots of time creating fantastic worlds for games. So it makes sense for me that some games teams start experimenting to create even post-launch of a AAA title to allow a small short experience, VR experience, to allow people to feel how is it like being inside the gaming world. So I think that's very exciting future, and I like to see more. But for VR, the best approach for now is to really focus creating games or experiences for VR from the ground up. So that's the best approach, and I think the hit product will come out from titles and developers who are totally focused on making games or experiences on VR. Well, there are many researchers and developers in the company who are encouraged to submit patent for their new ideas, whether or not it's being a part of the actual product development. And that happens, everywhere in the company, especially the large company like Sony or Sony Computer Entertainment. So what you see published on the patent may not be related to actual products. Yeah, but interaction like a PS Move is a really perfect device to put your hands into virtual space, and it was almost ahead of time when we launched it on PS3, because what PS Move does is provide the accurate positional tracking for the game, but using that 3D space tracking for 2D screen game was difficult. But now with PSVR, it just works perfectly. So, I'm encouraged to hear that the HTC Vive team is showing 30 games during this GDC alone. And many of them, I hope, will come over to PSVR and utilize the PS Move for the hand presence. So that's very exciting. So each region approaches bundles, separately, like you've seen, in many PS4 bundles. So in the future, you'll hear from us and on regional basis. Give you a rendezvous in October launch of PSVR.